occurred on this date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application Today in History. What happened today in history?
Historical calendar and on this website, onthisday.com.
Yep, I almost forgot that you are in on the intro too, but I remembered at the very last second. Anyway, for links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander.
Shohin.
And you are you. Today is not Moon's Day. What the hell? Today is Thor's Day, aka Thursday, April 6, 2023. So, do you want to start us off today in 46 BC?
Yeah, 46 BC, Julius Caesar defeats Caecilius, Tullius, Scorpius, and Marcus Porcius Cato. Cato the Younger in the Battle of Therapus.
El Cato, like remember that from Dead Space, or what's that one? In Space, that one cartoon. You know what I'm talking about?
One off in space.
No. The Netflix series or whatever. One of the characters is a cat named Cato or something.
I don't know then.
Hold on a second. Final Space.
F is for family?
Final Space. No, Final Space.
No, I didn't see that.
Okay. Yeah, like, avocado and then little avocado. Yeah. But anyway, do you want to move on up?
Yeah, 402. Yeah, 402, the battle at Politia. Roman army under Stilcho beats Visigoths.
Huh. Alright.
Yep. And 774, Charlemagne confirms his father Pippin the Short grant of land in 754 to the Pope of territories belonging to Ravenna in central Italy.
Huh. Alright. Jumping on up to 1320, the Scots reaffirmed their independence by signing the Declaration of Arbroath. Arbroath. What is the Declaration of Arbroath? Let's see, here it is. It is the name usually given to a letter dated April 6, 1320 at Arbroath, written by Scottish barons and addressed to Pope John the 22nd. It constituted King Robert I's response to his excommunication for disobeying the Pope's demand in 1317 for a truce in the First War of Scottish Independence. Well, alright, so the Pope got involved in on it. Look at that.
Say, hey, do you want to go to heaven?
Yeah. In 1327, Italian Pope Petrarch first set eyes on his beloved Laura. So, anybody who knows about, the poet Petrarch and Laura, this is when they first met, or at least when he first saw her. But then we have 1385, the Portuguese Council of the Kingdom met in Coimbra and declared John Master of the Order of Vives, King John I of Portugal. Huh. We got a not in primary script. We got let's see, a couple of these here. 1453, Mehmed II began his siege of Constantinople. The city fell on May 29th and was later renamed Istanbul. So this is the beginning of the end of Constantinople as far as the name of it is concerned.
Yes.
But then we have in 1580, one of the largest earthquakes recorded in the history of England, Flanders, and North France took place. All right. And back to you, Mr. Soen. We have a split here. So go ahead and read what it says here, and then I'll read what it says over here. I forgot to combine the two.
1652, Cape Colony, first European settlement in South Africa, established by Dutch East India Company under Jan van Riebeek.
Yep. At the Cape of Good Hope, Dutch sailor Jan van Riebeek established a resupply camp that eventually became Cape Town. All right.
1663, King of England Charles II signs the Carolina Charter, gifting land in the American Southeast to 8 friends who helped him regain the throne.
Ah,
He's like, you guys, I got you when I get my throne back. I told you, I got y'all.
yep. There's another one here in 1667.
1667, the earthquake devastates Dor- Dubrovnik in an independent city-state.
Yeah, so at the time it was an independent city-state, and they got devastated. So that's probably what caused the end of their independence. So, but then we got a NOPS here, not on primary script. 1712, the New York Slave Revolt of 1712 began near Broadway. All right. Back to you in 1724.
1724, Thomas Pelham Halls becomes British Minister of Foreign Affairs.
All right.
And in 1756, British King George II dismisses Minister William Pitt the Elder, Secretary of State for the Southern Department.
We also
And
go for it.
Oh yeah, continue.
1722. Catherine the Great, Empress of Russia, ended tax on men with beards, enacted by Tsar Peter the Great in 1698. So look at that guy with his like little French mustache. Of course, he taxed people with beards. What an a-hole. And like, good on Catherine. She took away the beard tax. Like,
This man was so mad he couldn't grow a beard.
yeah, that's probably why. That's hilarious. No testosterone in the system, so he had to tax all the men who were more manly than he was. What a loser. So, but then we got another NOPS here. 1776. During the American Revolution, ships of the Continental Navy failed in their attempt to capture a Royal Navy dispatch boat. I wonder what that boat had. Like, why was it dispatched? Where was it going? What events played out because of its success in sending its message? That's an interesting idea. But then we got another mixed here. 1782. Back to you, good sir.
Yeah, 1782.
Yeah.
Okay. 1782, Rama the First sees King Tarsin of Siam, modern-day Thailand, who is overthrown in a coup d'etat.
Yeah.
And we have something with the fur company.
Oh yeah. Well, before we get into that, we have another NOPS here. 1793. During the French Revolution, the Committee of Public Safety became the executive organ of the Republic. And then 1800, the Treaty of Constantinople established the Septinsular Republic, the first autonomous Greek state since the fall of the Byzantine Empire. Under the old style calendar, which was at the time still in use by the Ottoman Empire, the treaty was signed on March 21st. All right.
Nice. Also, 1808, John Jacob Astor incorporates the American Fur Company.
Yep. And this would eventually make him the U.S.'s first millionaire.
Yes. Also, 1830, Joseph Smith and 5 others officially organized the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Fayette, New York.
Yep, the Mormons. I'm going to dial us back a little bit because we have a couple more knobs here. 1812, British forces under the command of the Duke of Wellington assaulted the fortress of Bados. This would be the turning point in the Peninsular War against Napoleon-led France. And then 1814, nominal beginning of the Bourbon Restoration, anniversary date that Napoleon abdicated and was exiled to Elba. And then another one that we missed here in 1815, British militia shot prisoners, hundreds were killed. That's not nice.
It's never nice.
But we also have in 1841, U.S. President John Tyler was sworn in 2 days after having become president upon William Henry Harrison's death. All right. Back to you in 1843.
Sure. 1843, William Wordsworth is appointed British Poet Laureate by Queen Victoria.
Ah.
Also, 1865, Battle of Sailor Creek fought near Farmville, Indiana. Approximate campaign. 1/4 of General Robert E. Lee's army cut off. Union victory. U.S. Civil War.
Yep. We have an 1866 here.
Also in 1866, the Grand Army of the Republic forms in Decatur, Illinois by Dr. Benjamin F. Stevenson.
Yep. The Grand Army of the Republic, a U.S. patriotic organization composed of Union veterans of the American Civil War, was founded, in Decatur, Illinois by Dr. Benjamin F. Stevenson. It lasted until 1956.
Hey, that's good. Well, that's a long time.
Yeah. And, the first thing that came to my mind was Star Wars, the Grand Army of the Republic.
Of course, you
Yeah.
in your republic.
Yep. I am the Senate.
Man, funny you could have dropped the F-bomb. I am the fucking Senate.
I am the fucking Senate. Jedi scum.
Or, with Anakin, you're the fucking Sith Lord we're looking for.
Anyway, 1877, we got British Open Men's Golf at Musselburgh Links. Jamie Anderson won his first of 3 consecutive championships, defeated fellow Scot Bob Pringle by 2 shots. Oh, he cringled the Pringle. Look at that. But
Yeah. Ooh.
1886, the city of Vancouver in British Columbia was founded. That's where the Golden Loon was born.
Ooh, nice.
Then George Eastman in 1889 began selling his Kodak flexible rolled film for the first time. That is important. Why did I not put that in here? So, whoops. You put that in there. But then back to, actually, hold on. 1896. It's not in here. Wait, no, it is. Mr. Sohan, you want to tell us what happened in 1896?
Sure. 1896. First modern Summer Olympic Games open in Athens, Greece. American athlete James Connolly becomes first modern Olympic champion when he wins the triple jump and then 2 hops and a jump later, third in long jump, second in high jump.
Yep.
I love how they put in parentheses 2 hops and a jump later.
2 hops and a jump over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. But yeah, no, this opening occurred 1,500 years after the original games were banned by Roman Emperor Theodosius I.
Mm-hmm. Also, 1900, James J. Jeffries KOs Jack Bennigan in round 1 for a heavyweight boxing title.
Damn, he's just like, get down. Like, I win. Boom! We got a 1903 Holland.
Okay. 1993 in Holland, railroad and dock workers go on strike, but government passes anti-strike bills calling out troops and promptly ends the strike on the 13th of April. We will find out about that on April.
Yeah, that's in 7 days from now.
On a Thursday.
Yeah. Then the one after that as well, if you don't mind.
Yes. Also 1903, the Kisnev program?
Pogrom.
No, pogrom in Bessarabia begins, forcing tens of thousands of Jews later to seek refuge in Israel and the Western world.
Alright, 2 things. 1, a pogrom is a violent riot incited with the aim of massacring or expelling an ethnic or religious group, particularly Jews. The term entered the English language from Russian, pardon me, oh, pardon me, from Russian to describe 19th and 20th century attacks on Jews in the Russian Empire. So I'm going to add that link into the Wikipedia in the underbar below. I'm going to add that link to the Wikipedia in the underbar of the description below. Sorry, but something else. It says here, refuge in Israel. Israel, like, it was it a country back then? Like, because I know the one we know today was formed in like after World War II, but like all that area was Palestine at the time, right? Like,
Yep.
so yeah, so how can they seek refuge in a country that doesn't exist? That sounds a little weird. Well, but anyway, 1906, the world's first animated cartoon was released, Humorous Phases of Funny Faces, by J. Stuart Blackton. Well, let's check that out here. Like, I gotta add this.
I like how I like how it looks like the guy smoking reefer.
Huh.
And the woman's so like, oh my god, we shouldn't be smoking this.
Let's check out. Here we go. Humorous Faces. Faces and Funny Faces. It's a 3-minute long cartoon. The guy's drawing. Oh, so it's stop motion. He draws on a chalkboard, and it's all stop motion. That's interesting. I'm gonna add this link to the underbar as well. This is cool. I want to watch the entire thing after the show. But anyway, let's see here. What else do we have? 1909, first credit union was formed in the U.S.
Nice.
Right. Yeah, that's the downfall of our dollar. So, but then in 1909 as well, North Pole almost reached by U.S. explorers Robert Peary and Matthew Henson. Navigational errors discovered decades later in the travel log likely placed the expedition a few miles short. So yeah, I have another source here. Robert Peary and Matthew Henson became the first people to reach the North Pole. Peary's claim has been disputed because of failings in his navigational ability. And due to my failings in fully fleshing out the script before the show, I have to do things on the fly. But back to you, Mr. Soen. You want to talk about the American radio thing in 1914?
Sure. 1914, American Radio Relay League, organized for hams, founded.
Ham radio. It's not like a bunch of like hams are on the radio like.
I know.
Yeah.
The big old.
Yep. In 1916.
1916, German Parliament approves unrestricted submarine warfare.
Yeah.
World War One.
Yep. World War One. And actually, the next two, like this entire list, needs to be read here.
Sure. 1917, U.S. declares war on Germany, enters World War One.
Well, that's what we thought about the unrestricted submarine warfare.
Also, there's a lot of things. I think the sinking of a ship, also.
The Lusitania, you're right.
Yep, the sinking of Lusitania, and I think an assassination on someone, also.
An assassination. I think
Yeah.
I very vaguely remember what you're talking about.
According to what I've seen on Battlefield 1, it mentions the sinking of the Lusitania when you click on the United States.
Well, yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But we were like, declared as a neutral nation, but we were like supplying the Allies with munitions and supplies and
Yes, we
whatnot.
were.
So, and the Lusitania, it has been discovered that there's like thousands or hundreds of thousands of pounds of explosives in the hull that we were shipping for the Allied war effort. So the Germans were justified in sinking the Lusitania. Like we are backhanded, scummy, two-faced criminals as far as the world stage is concerned. The U.S. is. But anyway, let's move on up to 1919. Bavaria proclaimed itself as Soviet Republic. So it sounds like Bavaria got in on the USSR, at the very beginning.
Yep. Oh, also 1919, Mahatma Gandhi organizes a general strike in India to protect the Rowlatt Acts, which allowed political cases to be tried without juries and internment without trial.
Wow, that's not cool. 1923.
Also, 1923, the first prefects board in Southeast Asia is formed in Victoria Institution, Malaysia.
Huh. That's cool. The next one is interesting too.
Yes, it is. 1924, four planes leave Seattle on first successful round the world flights.
Nice.
Yep.
We have two more 24s, Italy and Volksky.
1924, Italy fascists received 65% of parliament.
Yep, the rise of Benito Mussolini.
Yep. Also, 1924, Volkaski, Volkaisi, bloc Nazis received 17.8% of the vote in Bavaria.
And the rise of Hitler. Moving on up to 1925, we got the first film shown on an airplane, specifically in British Air. So it's the very first time people got to have an in-flight movie. That's cool. First film on an airplane. Like what was it though? First film shown on an airplane. Howdy Chicago. The first in-flight movie was in 1921. Wait, what? Hold on a second. That's not right. Okay, so this is wrong. The first film shown on an airplane is not 1925. It's 1921. On Aeromain Airways, showing a film called Howdy Chicago to his passengers at the amphibious airplane flew around Chicago. Okay, so I guess that's more of a tourist thing. So that's interesting. So let me put that as a footnote there real quick. Footnotes. So I'll do that. We're gonna move up. We got a NOP here, not on primary script. 1926. Varney Airlines, the route company of United Airlines, made its first commercial flight. And then 1929, Huey P. Long, governor of Louisiana, was impeached by the Louisiana House of Representatives. So, do you know what he did? Why was he impeached?
He was corrupt. That's fuck.
Well, yeah, but exactly how, though?
I don't know.
Here we go. He was impeached in 1929 for abuses of power, but the proceedings collapsed in the state Senate. All right, I'm going to add the Wikipedia to Huey Long, the underbar description as well. So, I forgot to add Pogrom in here too. Whoops. Let me. I did add Pogrom. So get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, that's cleaned up. Taskbar U. Moving on up, Mr. Sohan, 1930. The first 1930.
Yeah, 1930. Come on, where? Oh, 1930. First transcontinental glider tow complete.
Huh. So, I guess they're towing a glider over a continent?
I'm guessing. Also, 1930. Hostess Twinkies invented by bakery executive James Darwall.
Yep. We got a NOPS here in 1930 as well. At the end of the Salt March, Gandhi raised a lump of mud and salt, declaring, quote, "With this I am shaking the foundations of the British Empire," end quote. That is powerful.
Yes, he had the power to break the British power, but I dream one day he'll go and take a shower.
Did you just make that up, or is that something from somewhere?
No, that's from Epic. I butchered it a little bit. I admire the way you broke the British power, but I'll have a dream one day you'll take a shower. That's from that's from Epic Rap Battles. Gandhi against Martin Luther King.
Oh, okay, that's why it sounds Martin Luther King. I have a dream.
And it's both Key and Peele.
Oh, you know what? I gotta watch that. You know, normally I don't like epic rap battles, but
they're in two of them.
Epic rap battles, Gandhi versus MLK. So I gotta check that out. Oh, it is Key and Peele. That's awesome.
And they're also in Michael Jordan against Muhammad Ali during that one too.
All right. I'm not gonna open up any more tabs as far as that
that's
is
okay.
concerned.
That's okay.
But you'll remind me about that later.
Also, 1931, a Connecticut Yankee film based on a novel by Mark Twain, directed by David Butler, starring Will Rogers, is released.
Ah. And then the next 1931, we're going to be stuck in 1931 for a hot minute here.
Yeah.
We're gonna read all of them.
Also, okay, also 1931, first broadcast of Little Orphan Annie on NBC Radio.
Huh? It's a hard knock life for us.
Yes. Oh, yeah. 1931, first Scottsboro, Alabama trial begins. 9 black people are confused of this struggles novel.
Yeah, that sounds, like
Which I think later on was false.
yeah. No, the
Oh,
Scottsboro trials. Let's see here. Oh, the Scottsboro boys. 9 black U.S. teenagers were accused of struggle snuggling 2 white women aboard a Southern Railroad freight train in northern Alabama. Um, their trials began 12 days after the alleged crime, and despite ample evidence that they were innocent, 8 of the 9 were found guilty by all-white jurists and sentenced to death in the electric chair. That is awful. Like, trumped
yeah,
up charges just because of the color of their skin. That is absolutely appalling.
correct.
So,
And to finish 1931, Linus Pauling seminal chemistry work, The Nature of the Chemical Bond, is published, establishing valence bond theory.
this guy again, what's with the rope? Like, that he has? He has that stupid rope through his tie. But anyway, going to move on up to 1934. 418 Lutheran ministers were arrested in Germany. Yeah, like
Damn.
the fascists and the communists, like all of these uh, you know uh, left-leaning political ideologies, start going after religion and all that stuff because politics is a religion. They don't want competition. So, yeah. But we got a NOPS here, 1936. Tupelo, Gainesville tornado outbreak. Another tornado from the same storm system as the Tupelo tornado hit Gainesville, Georgia, killing 203 people. Hence the name Tupelo, Gainesville tornado outbreak. So, but and I know I'm skipping over this golf thing, but I don't care about golf. So moving on up to 1938, Teflon was invented by Roy J. Plunkett. All right. We all know about Teflon. Like let's what's the definition of Teflon real quick? Teflon is a brand name of a chemical coating, polytetfluoroethylene, thankfully shortened to called PTFE. It was first made in the 1930s to create a non-reactive non-stick surface. It is known for its use in cookware, although it can also be used to coat other materials like wires or fabrics to make them waterproof. All right. For further reading on Teflon, please refer to the underbar of the description below. The link to this Wikipedia will be down there post-stream. Moving on up to 1939, Great Britain and Poland signed a military pact, and I believe that is the guarantee of independence, more or less, to Poland from Britain. That eventually brought them into conflict with the Axis powers when Germany and Russia jointly invaded Poland in September 1st of 1939. So this is just several months prior to it. But Mr. Sohan, do you want to talk about 1941 Operation Westerfront?
Yes, 1941 Operations Bester from German bombers attack Belgrade. 17,000 die.
Damn. Killing civilians wins wars. I've said that many times. But then we have a NOPS here, 1941 as well, World War II. Nazi Germany launched Operation 25 and Operation Marita, invading the Kingdom of Yugoslavia and Greece, respectively. So a joint invasion. That ain't good. But back to you, Mr. Sohan, 1941, British.
1941 British Major General Michael Gambier Parry captures in North Africa.
Well, that's not good.
No.
And then,
Also, in 1941, German bombardment of Paris munitions ship explodes.
dang.
Also, 1941, Italian forces holding Addis Ababa surrenders to British and Ethiopian forces.
Nice.
And we have a
43. Sorry, 1943, British and U.S. armies linked up in Africa during the Second World War. Well, that's good. Then we got the Battle of Okinawa in 1945. A giant Japanese battleship Yamato headed to Okinawa with orders to beach yourself and be destroyed defending the island. So they spent all that time building that big badass ship, only to be like, surrendered and it didn't even make it there. Like it got annihilated on the way. And then also in 1945, World War II, Dutch city of Coverden freed from German occupation by Canadian forces. And while that was happening, we have a NOPS here in 1945 as well. During World War II, Sarajevo was liberated from German and Croatian forces by the Yugoslav partisans. All right. Back to you, Mr. Sohan. You can either take the highlighted ones from the main source, or there's a 1957 here.
1957.
Yeah, Greek.
1957 Greek shipping tycoon Aristotle Onassis buys the Hellenic National Airlines (TAE) and founds Olympic Airlines.
This became the flag carrier airline for Greece for decades.
Yep.
Another 57, New York City.
1957 New York City ends trolley car service.
All right. Yep, all these big cities, with their public transportation, it becomes a serious problem. Like, anybody who's played SimCity, City Skylines, any of these city simulation games, traffic becomes one of the biggest pains in the ass that, oh, God. No.
Yep.
Anyway, you can take the next highlighted one, or we have a 1965 Intelstat.
1965's Intelstat early bird first commercial geosynchronous communication satellite is launched.
All right. Geosynchronous. I've heard that before. I think I know what it means, but let's look that up here real quick. Of an Earth satellite or its orbit having a period of rotation synchronous with that of the Earth's rotation. So essentially, it stays in its spot above the planet. So it's rotating around the Earth at the same speed that the Earth is actually spinning. So it's like hovering in the air essentially. But yeah, that's what for cellular, wireless communications and all that stuff. Then we got another one in 68, 94.5%.
What?
1968, 94.5% of East German voters approved new socialist constitution. Huh.
I doubt that.
That's East Germany. They were occupied by Russia at the time. While that was happening, gas and gunpowder explosions, a double explosion, at a sporting goods store in downtown Richmond, Indiana, killed 41 and injured more than 150 others. Yikes.
God, that's brutal.
Yeah. Then we got a couple NOPs here. 1968, Pierre Elliott Trudeau won the Liberal Party leadership election, becoming Prime Minister of Canada soon afterwards. So, the alleged father of the current Prime Minister of Canada. So, but then
Stop that.
Yeah, but then 2 years later, we got the Newhall massacre. 4 California Highway Patrol officers were killed in a shootout. That's not good.
Also, 1971, during a debate at Westminster on Northern Ireland, Harold Wilson of the Labour Party claims that a draft bill for the imposition of direct rule exists.
Huh. You want to take the one right after that?
Yeah, 1972, Egypt drops diplomatic relations with Jordan.
Yikes. So, more conflict in the Middle East.
Yep.
And a one after that as well.
Also in 1972, the Scarman Tribunal report an inquiry into the causes of violence during the summer of 1969 in Ireland is published. Northern Ireland is published, finding that the Royal Ulster Constabulary have been seriously at fault.
Huh.
The constables, I'm guessing, are at fault.
Yes. Yeah, finding that the Royal Ulster Constabulary has been seriously at fault. So that sounds like the British inciting violence against the Irish and trying to blame the Irish in order to continue to have domination and rule over the Irish people who should be free. So, We got another NOP here, 1973. The American League of Major Baseball began using the designated hitter. Actually, that's not a NOP. That's in here as well. Um, Actually, before that, 1973, U.S. launched the Pioneer 11, Pioneer G probe to study Jupiter and Saturn. But then in 1973, as I was saying, the American League of Major League Baseball began using the designated hitter. Yankee Ron Bloomberg became the first designated hitter, and he just walked. So I guess he didn't hit. But then in 1974, 200,000 attended rock concert California Jam at the Ontario Motor Speedway in Ontario, California. The lineup included Earth, Wind and Fire, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, and Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Dang.
Ooh, good bands.
Yeah. Back to you. You want to take the Blue 75?
Yes. Also, 1975, Rocky Horror Picture Show closes at Belasco Theater, New York City, after 45 performances.
Is that the one where with the song "Go Insane"? Like whatever.
I think so.
Okay.
Looks like that performance got caught with a flat. Well, how about that?
Got another 75 here though. Bundy victim.
Also, Also in 1975, Bundy victim Denise Oliverson disappears from Grand Junction, Colorado, to never be seen again.
Yeah. Theodore Bundy, Ted Bundy, right? Or that? No, that's Kaczynski.
Yes.
No,
yes, that's Theodore Bundy.
Yeah.
Bundy.
Not to be confused with Al Bundy from Married with Children. So,
no.
Although he probably would do it too. You know, he's a little office rocker. But there's another 75 right after that.
Also, 1975, fastest hat trick by a wash cap, 3 minutes 26 seconds, Dan Gilbertson.
Dang. So whatever hat trick is, I'm still unfamiliar with it. I've heard it 1,000 times. That's an Alice thing.
Okay, now it's your turn.
1976, first quadraphonic movie track, Ladies and Gentlemen, the Rolling Stones. What is quadraphonic? Check that out here 1 second. Quadraphonic. I have never heard of that before. Of sound reproduction transmitted through 4 channels. Okay. Quadraphonic sound, equivalent to what is now called 4.0 surround sound, uses 4 audio channels in which speakers are positioned at the 4 corners of a listening space. The system allows for the reproduction of sound signals that are independent of one another. Alright, yeah. So, 1976, first surround sound, essentially. That's impressive. Add that into the underbar there. 1977, judge ruled Beatles' 1962 Hamburg album can be released. So, for whatever moral reasons or whatever they're holding that. But then 1977 as well, King Dome opened at Seattle Mariners' first game. The loss to the Angels, 7-0. Wow, they got their teeth kicked in. Dang. Then back to you, Mr. Sohan, 1980, the one right after the NHL record, unless you want to read any of those ones.
Sure. 1980 posted notes introduced.
Yeah, sticky notes.
Yep. Also 1981, Belgian government of Mark Eckerson Farms.
Alright.
1981, Yugoslav government sends troops to Kosovo.
1 year after that, 1982, Columbia returned to the Kennedy Space Center from White Sands. Alright. And while that was happening in 1982 as well, the largest crowd ever to see a baseball game in Minnesota at 52,279. Largest crowd ever to see a baseball game. Is that specifically in Minnesota, or is that the actual record? No. According to official Guinness records, the largest attendance at a baseball game was achieved by 115,300 audience members in a game played between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Boston Red Sox, both USA, at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, California, USA, on March 29, 2008. So that record has since been broken. Let me add a little footnote to that. But then in 1984, first time 11 people were in space at once. Wow. That's a lot of people in space when you think about it. Especially when, like, you know, the space shuttle could hold, what, 7 people? So that's at least, like, you know, almost 2 space shuttles worth. Hold on, how many people can the space shuttle have? 8. All right, so there we go. Up to 8. Normally, crews may range in size from 5 to 7, so I was right there as well. The shuttle is designed to reach orbits ranging from about 185 kilometers to 643 kilometers, which is 115 statute miles to 400 statute miles high. All right. Mr. Sowen, you want to talk about this other 1984 members of Cameroon?
In 1984, members of Cameroon Republic Guard unsuccessfully attempted to overthrow the government headed by Paul Biya.
Ah. We have another one about Sudan in 85.
1985, Sudan suspends constitutional after a coup under General Saradarbab.
Dang. And we got a 1986 here between the two highlighted ones, kind of hidden.
Which ones?
The one between the two highlighted ones. It's kind of sandwiched in there.
Okay, 1980. 1985. Sudan suspends constitution. Oh,
86.
never mind. 1986. CBS fact-based Nobody's Child story of Marie Balter. Ooh.
Huh.
Nice.
What about the soccer ball one?
Also, 1986 soccer ball juggled nonstop for 14 hours.
14. So I guess 14 hours, 14 minutes.
Okay, yeah, 14 hours, 14 minutes.
Yeah, that's a long time to juggle a soccer ball. Oh.
Yes.
365 days later, in 1987, Los Angeles Dodgers GM Al Campanis appeared on TV program ABC News Nightline saying blacks may not be equipped to be in baseball management, sparking a racial controversy. Yeah. Like, if anything, blacks are better than whites at sports. I mean, like, you know? So, yeah, like, they're more equipped than us. Like, stop trying to hold them down. Gonna move on up to 1988. Black U.S. polar explorer Matthew Henson was buried next to Robert Peary in Arlington National Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia. Alright. In 1988, New Jersey Devils' first playoff game. They lost to the New York Islanders 4-3 in overtime on the first round. Dang. So, like, what is that? Like, first round. Baseball or basketball? What is it? New Jersey Devils playoff. What is that? Help me.
That is hockey. Sound like
hockey. Okay. All right.
Of course, because Islanders are hockey.
Okay. Okay. Well, my ignorance of sports is greatly showing.
No problem.
Let's see. Let's move on up. 1991. Subhana became the first Australian woman to become a Zen teacher. All right. Mr. Sohan, you want to talk about the British radio in 1992?
Sure. 1992 British Radio Authority licensed Virgin and TV AM radio licenses.
Ah. Alright. The next highlighted one is interesting.
Also, 1992, George Harrison performs his final full concert at London Royal Albert Theatre in a benefit for the Transcendental Meditation-based Natural Law Political Party.
Dang. Alright.
The NLPP.
Yeah, NLPP. PP. We got a Supreme Court one in 92.
Ooh, Supreme Court one in 92. 1992 U.S. Supreme Court rules a Nebraska farmer was entrapped by postal agents into buying mail order. Ooh.
Yeah. What the hell? Like.
What the fuck, UPS?
I know.
USPS?
Right? Using terror tactics to force somebody to buy CP. That's not cool.
Buy out my smudge. No.
God.
Buy out my smudge. No.
Why do they have an Italian accent? What the hell?
I don't know. Just buy out my shit.
What else happened? The one right after that.
Oh shit. Also, 1992, voting begins on choice of Elvis postage stamps.
All right.
They ain't never caught a rabbit, so they ain't no friend of his.
Yep. You ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time.
Okay. Also,
Uh,
1993 test flight of Elysium IL-96M Moscow.
all right, let's take a
It's
look
gotta
at
be
that
some.
airplane. So, yeah, it's a four-engine jumbo jet with four-engine jumbo jet-like qualities. But we got a NOP here. 1992, the Bosnian War began. All right. Going back up to 1993, Florida Marlins first loss ever, 4-2 to LA Dodgers. Everybody's got to lose sometime.
Yes.
Then we got 1994, the first scheduled Indians night game at Jacobs Field was rained out. That blows.
Oh, that's always.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But back to you. 1994. Actually, hold on. That's afterwards. So I gotta flip that around. I'll take this one here real quick. 1994. Rockwell B1B Lancers broke 11 world speed record. Dang.
Okay.
But then back to you, Mr. Sohen. 1994. The Rwandan genocide.
Damn.
Yeah.
1994, plane carrying Rwandan President Juvenal Habyarimana and Burundian President Cyprien Ntaryamira is shot down by surface-to-air missile, abruptly ending peace negotiations and sparking the Rwandan genocide. Those responsible have never been identified.
Yep. From the other source, it says here the Rwandan genocide began when the aircraft carrying Rwandan President, Juvenal Habyarimana and Burundian President, was shot down, as you said. So, essentially the same thing, but worded different.
I was about to stupidly say Wakandan.
Oh, Wakanda! Wakanda! Oh my God! Wow. Then let's see here. You want to take the next highlighted one here? That's interesting.
The next highlighted one?
Yeah, 96.
Yeah. 1996, American actor Marlon Brando makes anti-Semitic remarks about Hollywood on Larry King Live, stating that Jews have controlled Hollywood.
Well, they kind of do. I mean, look at all the producers, look at all the people in charge of the companies.
Well,
Like,
he is Don Corleone, and I think Don Corleone knows.
And what's funny is that anti-Semitism has nothing to do with Jews. It's about Shem, being against Shem, which I don't believe Jews have any correlation with that. So, but the next one here, the baseball one, Mr. Sowen, if you don't mind.
The baseball one.
Right after what you just read.
Sure. Also, 1996, American baseball player Albert Bell shows off his arm by hitting Sports Illustrated photographer Tony Tosmic in the hand prior to a game.
Okay, so it shows here he's breaking a baseball in half, a baseball bat. So I don't know what that
Damn.
What does it mean to show off your arm? Is he flexing? Is he throwing a ball super fast, or here in this picture?
Picture, so yeah.
He's literally like bending a baseball bat in half, like breaking it, like a buff person would do to like a pan or like a steel bar or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds brutal.
Yeah. We got one here in 98 about 98 about Pakistan.
Ooh, 1980.
98, sorry.
Where?
1998.
1990, Pakistan tests mid-range missile capable of hitting India.
Yikes.
But did it?
Oh, the one right after that, too.
Also, 1999, Benny Anderson and Bjorn Ulvaeus musical Mamma Mia, featuring the songs of ABBA, opened at the Prince Edward Theatre in London West End, transferred twice to other venues, run interrupted by COVID-19 in March of 2020.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Huh. Kung flu, not kung fu. Oops. Anyway, let's move on up to 2004. Rolanders Paksas became the first president of Lithuania to be peacefully removed from the post by impeachment. All right, good.
Hey, get up. You gotta go.
Oh, okay. 2006, NZSL, New Zealand Sign Language. It was made an official language of New Zealand. Good. Then we got a couple NOPs here. 2008, the 2008 Egyptian general strike started, led by Egyptian workers, later to be adopted by April 6 youth movement and Egyptian activists. It's telling me to look at the symbol. So 2008 Egyptian general strike. The symbol looks surprisingly like the BLM thing, and see, here it is. Yeah, that's not the symbol I saw from my phone. Strike symbol. Let's see here. This is the symbol I saw on my phone. That looks exactly like BLM. I'm going to copy and I'll post it in Mikeless here for you to see. But this makes me wonder, like, with how everything is connected, you know, how all these, like, you know, shadow organizations and stuff behind all of these movements are all connected. They tend to recycle their old logos and all that stuff and, like, change it up a little bit. This looks like a mix between the BLM logo and ISIS. It has, like, well, that's because it's using Arabic script, but still. Anyway, going to move on up to 2011. In San Fernando, Tamaulipas, Mexico, over 193 victims of Los Zetas were exhumed from several mass graves. At least they're getting proper burials. And we got one more NOP here before head on over back to SOAN. 2012, Aswad declared itself independent from the Republic of Mali. All right. Mr. Sohan, 2012 US F-18.
2012 U.S. F-18 Hornet crashed into side of apartment building in Virginia with no fatalities. Good.
Good.
Oh.
So no fatalities, but maybe casualties. Wow, that's a fighter jet. So.
Yes. Also, 2013, 11 people were killed in an attack on a village in Middelu, Nigeria. Yikes. I'll be back. I'll use the bathroom.
All right, have a blast. Going to move on up to 2016. The first baby born with DNA from 3 parents through mitochondrial transfer in Mexico. Wow, I had no idea they were that advanced, you know, technologically. You know, like, you know, not bashing on Mexico. I had no idea they were, like, you know, doing, you know, triple parent mitochondrial DNA transfusion stuff. That's some science fiction stuff that, you know, I wouldn't imagine any country in the world be doing right now. But anyway, we also have 2016 as well. France passed legislation making it illegal to pay for sex. Yeah, I agree. Like, then we got another NOP here. 2017, U.S. military launched 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles at an airbase in Syria. Russia described these strikes as an aggression, adding they significantly damaged U.S.-Russia ties. All right. 2019, first ever Marsquake seismic event on planet Mars detected by NASA's InSight lander. All right. 2020, just 3 years ago, Cyclone Harold made landfall in Vanuatu, leaving thousands of houses destroyed and 2 dead. Other deaths, if any, probably marked as Kung Flu. And then 2021, a record-breaking price of $3.25 million for a comic book as Action Comics #1 that introduced Superman for the first time, sold at auction. And yeah, anybody knows, you know, Action Comics #1, who knows this, you know, Superman lifting the car. Very iconic image. So, gonna move on up to 2022. Hermit's Peak Fire, New Mexico's largest wildfire, started in Moore County. As a supposedly controlled burn off by U.S. forces, or by. Hold on, I had a phone call that screwed me up. Let me restart this. 2022, Hermit's Peak Fire, New Mexico's largest wildfire, started in Moore County as a supposedly controlled burn off by U.S. Forest Service went on to displace 100 people, burning 341,000 acres and 62 million trees. God dang, that's not good. Fire can get out of your control real quick.
Yep.
Mr. Sohan, I hear you. Are you back?
Yep.
All right. Let's see here. We have two more here. If you want to close out the main body here, they're both in 2022. It's the last two actually in 2022.
Okay, 2022. Let me skip all of it. Alrighty.
Yeah.
2022 military tribunal when Ogona Dogu convicts former Burkina Faso President Blaise Compaoré and Apacina of the 1987 killing of his predecessor Thomas Sankara.
Ah. Well, they got him. That's good.
Yes. Also, science in 2022, scientists have the scientists claim to have found dinosaur remains killed on an actual day by a giant asteroid struck Earth 66 million years ago, beginning their extinction at Tannis Fossil Site, North Dakota.
I wonder how they figured that out. Like to the day it hit. Like, man, that's some pretty incredible science right there.
Or some BS. Who knows?
Yeah. Before we move on to the burst of deaths, audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you wish we had elaborated more about? Anything you would have liked to say had you been here? Start a dialogue down in the comments section. Do we have a live chat? No, we do not. So anyway, let's move on up into burst. Mr. Sohan, you want to start us off with one of the TMNT? Oh, okay. Gonna start us off in 1483 with Raphael. Was an Italian painter and master builder. Sistine Madonna, School of Athens, Julian calendar date. Born in Urbino, Duchy of Urbino. So this is the Julian calendar date. We are operating off the Gregorian calendar, so that translation has not been done yet. To move on to 1660, we have Johann Kinja, was a Bohemian composer, biblical sonatas, Kapellmeister, novelist, and lawyer, born in Geising, Bohemia, which is now Germany. What the hell is a Kapellmeister? So let's take a look at that. The leader and conductor of an orchestra or choir. Okay, and it also has a Wikipedia. So just for S's and G's, I'm going to add the link there. And then Mr. Sohan, welcome back. Oh, actually, before we continue on with you, I have a NOP here, 1773. We have James Millionaire, Scottish historian, economist, and philosopher. And then, do you want to talk about Philip here in 1810?
Sure. 1810, Philip Henry Goss, English naturalist, created the first public aquarium at London Zoo, coined term aquarium. Born in Worcester, England, died in 1888.
So the inventor of aquariums, born on this date.
Yes.
Dang. We got another one in 1818.
Also, 1818 we have
Francois
Henry Brown, American teacher and composer, popular pre-Civil War composer, born in Newburyport, Massachusetts.
Ah. My bad, not Francois, it's Francis. So, we got another one here for you in 1823, Joseph.
1823, Joseph Medill, Canadian newspaper editor, owner, and politician, co-owned Chicago Tribune, Mayor of Chicago, 1871 to 73, born in St. John, New Brunswick.
Dang. Let's have 1830, James Augustine Healy was the first black U.S. Roman Catholic bishop, Diocese of Portland, born in Macon, Georgia, died in 1900. We got a NOP here in 1852, Will Crooks, English trade unionist and politician. Sounds like a crook to me. And then we got 1860, René Lalique, French jeweler, the inventor of modern jewelry, sculptor and glass designer, born in Champagne, France, died in 1945. Then we got one for you, Mr. Sohan, in 1866. Joseph?
1866, Joseph Leaker Steffens, American muckraker and investigative journalist, same of the cities, born in San Francisco, California.
A muckraker was any group of a American writer identified with pre-World War I reform and expose writing. The muckrakers provided detailed, accurate journalistic accounts of the political and economic corruption and social hardships caused by the power of big business in a rapidly industrializing U.S. They were right on the money with that. So, yep. Let's see here. 1869, Lewis.
1869, Louis Raymakers, Dutch cartoonist, World War One anti-German newspaper cartoonist and painter, born in Roma, Netherlands.
All right. Let's see here. Let's see some of his cartoons. Oh, I see. So these are some of his cartoons. He has some guy punching some other guy in the face and his hat flying off. These are interesting. You know, I'm gonna look at these after the show. So I'm gonna open up another tab for images for that. But let me move this over here. Get rid of that. All right. We got a Nop here in 1869. We have Levon Shant, a Armenian author, poet, and playwright, and he died in 1951, and he shan't write again. 1885, Carlos Salizdo, French-U.S. piano prodigy, harpist, prodigy, harpist, composer, and educator, Curtis Institute, Juilliard, and new music advocate, co-founder of International Composers Guild, born in Arcachon, France, died in 1961. Then we have Jules Gonks, 1885, a French auto racer, the first European to win the Indianapolis 500 in 1913, born in Valentine, France, died in 1965. And then back to Mr. Soen in 1886 with Smokey.
1886, Smokey Joe Williams, American Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher, Negro League, Mexico, Caribbean, 1905, 1932, no-hitter, 1919, New York Lincoln Giants, born in Seguin, Texas.
All right. 1890, Andre?
1890, Andre Louis Darjon, French astronomer, inventor, Darjon Astrolabe, born in Cannes,
France.
France.
Yeah. I know where Caen is in France. That was is a pivotal strategic location during the Normandy landings. But the Denjin Astrolabe, among its notable contributions to astronomy, was the design of the impersonal prismatic astrolabe based on an earlier prismatic astrolabe developed by Francois Auguste Claude, which is now known as the Denjin Astrolabe, which led to an improvement in the accuracy of fundamental optical astronomy. Holy crap. So that's very significant there. Add that in the other part of the description below. Then 1890, we have a split here. So go for it, Mr. Sohan. Anthony Fokker.
1890, Anthony Fokker, Dutch aviation pioneer and aircraft manufacturer, even monoplanes. Fokker biplane, born in Elata, East Java, Dutch East Indies.
Dang.
Also, we have in 1892 we have Douglas William Douglas, Donald Willis Douglas, American aircraft industrialist McDonnell Douglas, and aviation pioneer Douglas DC-3, born in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, he founded Douglas Aircraft Company. So we got another one here in 1892. Maciej Glinski was a Polish conductor, musicologist, Scriabin and Chopin, composer and pedagogue, Windsor University, born in Warsaw, Poland. 1894, Gertrude Baines, a U.S. supercentenarian who was the oldest person in the world and the last person known to be born in 1894, born in Shelman, Georgia, died in 2009. And then a supercentenarian is someone who's lived for more than 1 century. I think either 2 or 3 centuries. So let me double check here. Supercentenarian is a person who has reached the age of 110 years. So it's not about centuries, it's about age. Then we also have in 1903, Harold Egerton, U.S. electrical engineer and photographer who created high-speed photography techniques, born in Freeport, Nebraska. So thank him for photo finish and high-speed cameras and all that stuff. Mr. Sohan, 1903, Mikey.
1903, Mikey Cochran, American Baseball Hall of Fame catcher, MLB All-Star 1934 to 35, World Series 1929, 30, 35, American League MVP 1928, 34, Philadelphia A's, Detroit Tigers, and manager Detroit Tigers 1934 to 1938, born in Bridgewater, Massachusetts.
Dang, that's a hell of a resume right there. I'm going to interrupt your turn real quick. We got a Knops here, 1920. Jack Cover, a U.S. pilot and physicist who invented the taser gun, died in 2009. So, I don't know why that's not even on the primary script. That's a Knops, not on primary scripts. Why is it not on the inventor of the taser? Come on. But then, anyway, back to you, Mr. Sohan, 1922. Dorothy.
1922,
Dorothy Donegan.
Dorothy Dorgan, American boogie woogie swing jazz and classical pianist and vocalist, born in Chicago, Illinois.
Boogie Woogie Woogie Woogie. I don't know. Got
Boogie woogie 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 woo.
Yep. James Watson, 1928.
James Watson, where's that at?
It's highlighted actually.
Okay. 1928, James Watson, American molecular biologist who co-discovered DNA structure with Francis Crick, Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine, 1962, geneticist and geologist, born in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, he's 95 today. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Gonna move on up to 1934. Anton Gesnik, Dutch judoka, first non-Japanese world champion, Olympic gold 64. Born in Utrecht, Netherlands, died in 2010. We got Guy Peelhart, Peelhart, 1934, a Belgian graphic artist, photographer, rock dreams, movie poster and album cover designer, David Bowie, Diamond Dogs, Rolling Stones, It's Only Rock and Roll. Born in Brussels, Belgium, died in 2008. Then we got a Knops here, 1937, Billy D. Williams. Actually, that's not a Knops. That's a double. Harlem actor, Chiefs in Empire Strikes Back, singer and writer, born in New York City, New York. That is
Lando.
yes, thank you, Lando Calrissian.
Also, in the Tim Burton Batmans, he's Harvey Dent.
Oh, Harvey Dent in Tim Burton's Batman. All right. Empire Strikes Back, Lando. All right. Then, Mr. Sohan, you want to talk about the next guy, 1937?
1937, we have Merle Haggard, American country singer-songwriter. Mama tried If We Could Make It Through December. Okie from Muskogee, born in Oildale, California.
Huh. All right. And Merle Haggard was he the one who was in prison when he saw the other guy, or was he the other guy with the other guy in prison?
I think you the other guy first.
We have two snobs here. 1939, Andre Ouellette, a Canadian lawyer and politician who became the first Canadian Minister of Foreign Affairs. In 1939 as well, John Scully, a U.S. businessman who co-founded Zeta Interactive. All right. Back to you, Mr. Sohan. Barry Levstein, 1942.
Barry Levstein, 1942, American Academy Award-winning film director and screenwriter. Rainer Rainman, Good Morning Vietnam, born in Baltimore, Maryland.
Ah. Another one in 47, John.
Oh, 1947, John Ratzenberger, American actor, Cheers, Cliff Kevin, Toy Story, and Gandhi, born in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
So he was a voice actor in Toy Story. Which one was it, though? Let's check this out here. Okay, so, oh, it's him! It's that guy! He's the guy who voiced the Piggy Bank. He voiced the Abominable Snowman in Monsters, Inc. He voiced Meg in, he's that guy with that voice. He voices everything, guy. So, wow. We got another snop here. Jean-Marc Boulevin was a French skier, mountaineer, and pilot. So he can fly he can fly his way to a mountaintop or climb it and then ski down it.
I like how they brought that up in Cars. I was watching a movie on Cars.
Yeah, during one of the the like the blooper reel, like how Pixar used to have like bloopers. Um,
Yeah.
they made a break fourth wall. What's the word? There's a
Uh,
word for it. Uh,
Breaking the fourth wall.
yeah, well, like no, like meta. They're being meta. Um, like not the Facebook thing, but the actual word, meta. Like they're being self, uh, whatever, like breaking the fourth wall. Made a joke about using the same voice actor for everything. Oh, he was also the voice actor for what's his face in Wall-E, the fat guy. Uh, all right. Anyway, let's move on up to 1957, Paolo.
1957, Paolo Nesopro, Italian astronaut.
Yeah, yeah, Italian soldier, engineer, and astronaut. But then we got a snob here, Peter Jackson, English footballer and manager. I put that in there because he has the same name as that director, just to throw people off here. But then you got one here in 1969, Paul Rudd.
Nice. 1969, Paul Rudd, American actor, Clueless, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Ant-Man, born in Passac, New Jersey.
Yep. And the next highlighted one.
And 1975, we have Zach Braff, American actor, Dr. John Dorian Scrubs, born in South Orange, New Jersey.
Yep. He's also a director, a producer, and a screenwriter. Garden State, I believe, is the movie he made and starred in.
Okay.
Yeah. 1978, Robert.
1978, Robert Glasper, American jazz, neo soul, and R&B pianist, songwriter, arranger, and producer, born in Houston, Texas.
Ah. And we have one more in birth in 1982, Brett.
Where? Oh.
1982, Brett Harrison.
1982, Brett Harrison, American actor, Orange County, born in Portugal. I mean,
Portugal.
born in Oregon.
Portugal. Damn, he came a long way to star in a movie. Tell you what. Anyway, we're going to move on in a bit to deaths. Starting us off in 1861, we have a snob here right off the bat. We have Prudentius, was a bishop of Troyes. And in 885, we have Methodius, a Greek apostle of the slave/archbishop of Sirmium, just randomly died. And then we got Richard the Lionheart. Richard the First was died on this date in 1199. Was a king of England from 1189 through 99, known as Richard the Lionhearted. Died as a result of a wound at the age of 41, and he was born in 1157. We got another snob here in 1250, Guillaume de Sonac, Grand Master of the Knights Templar. All right, Mr. Sohan, 1472, Peter.
1472, Peter the Pieter Holland, Belgian landowner, Middleburg Castle, dies.
Ah. And this guy again, he died on his birthday. I mean, that sucks, but.
1520, Raphael, Italian painter and master builder, Sistine Madonna, School of Athens, died on his 37th birthday.
Dang.
Doretta couldn't wait for his birthday to end his life.
Dang.
The shredder struck.
Yep. We got a snob here, John Stowe, English historian and author, born in 1525. I forgot to put in his actual death date, so somewhere between 1520 and 1661. But anyway, back to you, Mr. Sohan. 1661, John Webster.
1661, John Webster, colonial governor of Connecticut. Fundamental Orders of Connecticut, dies at about 71.
Fundamental Orders of Connecticut. Adopted in January of 1639, the Fundamental Orders of Connecticut stated the powers and limits of government. The preamble of the Fundamental Orders officially formed a confederation under the guidance of God, standing in stark contrast to today's ideas about the separation of church and state. Dang.
Like, let him die. Kill him.
Yeah. We got another snop here, though, in 1676. We got John Winthrop the Younger, English politician who became the first governor of Connecticut. He was born in 1606. Then 1829, Niels H. Abel, Norwegian mathematician, Infinite Series, died at 26. Infinite Series, huh? Let's check that out here real quick. Infinite series. In mathematics, a series is, roughly speaking, the operation of adding infinitely many quantities, one after the other, to a given standing quantity. The study series is a major part of calculus and its generalization mathematical analysis. Alright, so that's some pretty amazing thinking that way above my pay grade, all the way back in those times. Mr. Soen, 1838, Jeremiah Ingalls.
The year?
1838.
1838. Jeremiah Ingalls, early North American choir master and composer. Farewell hymn dies at 72.
The Farewell Hymn. I want to listen to that. So let's see if I can find it on here. Song of Farewell? No. Let's see. Farewell Hymn. Jeremiah Ingalls. Let's see if I can find it. It's not telling me. Oh well. Anyway, 1844, Francis.
1844. Where is that at?
Francis, 1844. It's
All I see is Jimmy Collins and Benjamin.
Jimmy Inglaus. Yeah, it's two after that. There's Jeremiah Inglaus in 1838. There's another Jose in 1838. Then Francis in 1844.
I skipped ahead because I just want to do the highlighted stuff.
Oh, okay.
Taking too long.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's just do focus on the highlighted stuff here. Actually, let's wrap up the show. Honestly, it is getting a little late. So I encourage you viewers to go to our sources, look at all the stuff that we've missed here. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things OMNI Coalition, which in itself includes
Sohin TV on Twitch.
Yep. For all of you and all of us, for your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time, which is 11 Mountain.
Of Central.
Yep, and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
Johan.
And you are you, and until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate